How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite aviation channel, and today we are here with quite a special video to finish off 2023, none other than a full model aircraft collection update. As you might know, it's been a major goal of mine to do one of these at the end of each year, so of course here we are with the 2023 iteration. Last year's was a little over an hour. It was pretty long, so hopefully this one doesn't take nearly as long, but we'll see how that plays out. So without any much further delay, let's go ahead and get right into some statistics or some brief fast facts regarding this collection. So in last year's update, we had 232 models in that video. In this video, the collection has grown to 295 models, so it has definitely grown significantly. And majority of the models are on 1 to 400 scale, but we also have a handful of 1-200 models, 1-250, 1-150, 1-100, and also 1-500 scales. The top 5 airlines, they actually have not changed since last year. I mean, that's not surprising. American Airlines is number 1 at technically 40 planes and counting, so 40 planes for American Airlines. Number 2 will be United Airlines with 35 aircraft in my collection. Delta Airlines, not surprising, at number 20. They've actually grown pretty significantly. 20 planes for Delta in my collection, and that number is also growing. Qatar Airways comes in at number 4 with 18 planes. That's also grown since last year. And then number 5, of course, is Pakistan International Airlines, or PIA, not very far behind with 17 planes. So those are the top 5 airlines in the collection. Previously, in the 2021 updates, so 2 years ago, I had mentioned that we had 37 countries represented in the collection. So here we are 2 years later, we are now up to 43 countries represented in my collection here. So those are some brief facts regarding the collection, mostly 400 scale, like I mentioned, geminijets, Phoenix, NG models, JC Wings, those kind of manufacturers. And yeah, that's a little bit of the intro there. Let's go ahead and get started with the collection update. I'll give you guys a brief little tour of the entire setup. Alright, so I believe this is my 4th time doing a collection video on the channel, and if you've watched these collection videos on my channel over the years, you might know that I like to group my models by geographic region, and most importantly, I like to group them all by the airline. So I got all my American Airlines models here, all the Uniteds, and then overall the entire geographic area right here is North America. That's the entire idea there. More North America here, then we got some more North America, Central America, South America. First time we finally have South America. That was a major continent that I was missing, but with the Avianca we got South America finally, because this model is technically, it's got the Colombia flag on it, so that's South America right there. Pretty cool. So we got Europe, mainland Europe, all that good stuff, and then moving into Middle East of Asia, and then South Asia back here, and then Far East Asia, and then Oceania back there with Australia, and spoiler alert, New Zealand. That's one of my newest ones right there. New Zealand is finally in the collection as well. So these are all my 400 scales. These are all 1/400 scale. And then on this table you can barely see it. Those are my bigger scale models. I have a couple of 1/400s as well. That's a 1/400 right there. But mostly bigger scale models on that table that you'll see towards the end of the video. So yeah, that's a brief tour of the setup. As you can see, it's no prizes for guessing what airport diorama mat this is all on. So of course O'Hare Terminal 5, there's the the terminals back there, and then the new mats. I got some more foam boards earlier today, so those will be going up once I finish this video and to complete the entire new O'Hare Terminal 5 revamp. But yeah, that was the setup. Let's go ahead and get started with North America and get this tour going. Alright, so we're going to get started over here with American Airlines. Like I always have done in my collection updates, each model I'm going to mention, of course, the airline, aircraft, and also the manufacturer. And then if it has any significance to me, like if I've been on the exact plane in real life, I'll also briefly mention that. So we'll start off right here with this American Airlines 777-300ER, the first ever new livery released by geminijets. This is a 2013 release. That's 7/18 Alpha November. Moving along, we have the 2019 release, 735 Alpha Tango, American 777-300ER by geminijets. I have flown this exact plane from Dallas to Hong Kong a little over 4 years ago. Crazy it's been that long, but DFW Hong Kong flew that exact plane. American 777-200ER, 775 AN, this is a 2013 release by geminijets. 777-200ER in the One World livery by geminijets. 2020 release, 777-200ER 797 AN by geminijets. And then let's do the retros right now. I got a bunch of chrome now. That's actually one area where I've kind of improved a lot in is my retro collection. That surprisingly has grown quite a bit. So a bunch of these models weren't even here last year, and I do plan on adding a couple more retros, retro liveries, retro aircraft to the collection over the coming months. But you'll see those when they come in eventually. So we'll start off over here. We'll continue, I should say. American 777-200ER in the chrome livery. I think this was like an early 2000. I don't even know when this was released, but it's a older model, as you can kind of tell. This is November 777AN. That's the registration by geminijets, and I have flown this exact plane as well. Flew it from Dallas to Los Angeles last year, or earlier this year, January 13th. Of course, it wasn't in the chrome livery; it was in the new livery, but I picked it up because I have been on this exact plane. We got another American 777-200ER by geminijets. This is 781AN, I think it was, something like that. 2011 or 2012 release. It's got a bit of a paint chip on the nose, but yeah, there we go. And then we have the NG models, American 777-200ER, November 795 Alpha November. So that one is a rather recent pickup. Well, earlier this summer, I believe I got that one. Here's another recent one, the American 767-300ER, chrome livery by Phoenix. I believe that's November 396 Alpha November. So it was released just a couple of months ago. 767-300 by geminijets without winglets. I forgot the registration. I think it's 361 or something, but there's that one. Of course, we got the American MD-80. MD-83 by geminijets. American 757-200 2008 release by geminijets, November 601 Alpha November. Flew that plane, exact plane, from Dallas to Seattle in 2013. Here's a new one. Well, you haven't seen this one ever before on the channel. America West, Boeing 757-200 in the Arizona Cardinals livery. This is November 908 Alpha Whiskey. I actually have been on this plane as well, not when it was in the America West livery. I flew it after it was repainted into US Airways colors. After America West merged into US Airways. I flew this exact plane from Phoenix to San Diego in 2008. So I was really happy to get the model of it, or I was really happy to find out that there was a model of it. That's why I have this in the first place. Alright, next up, 757-200 in the new livery, November 691 AA by NG models. We got 787-8 by geminijets. That's a 2020 release or something. NG models 7878, I believe that's 880 something. What's the registration on this one? 880BJ by NG models. I used to have two of the Gemini 788s. I sold the other one, replaced it with the NG version. We have the geminijets 787-9-825. That's a 2020 or 2021 release, something like that. And then 832, which is a 787-9 from NG models. Onto the narrow bodies, we got 737 MAX 8 by geminijets, 737-800 2015 release from geminijets. 737-800 with the Eagle logo on the winglets by NG models. 738 in the One World livery by geminijets. 738 from Apollo in the new livery. This was one of the first new livery models I ever got back in 2013. 737-800 by geminijets in the Chrome Retro livery. 921NN flew this aircraft from Chicago to New York LaGuardia in 2014. 738 in the Astrojet Retro by Gemini. This one's a bit tail heavy, mainly because of the cardboard, but A319 American by geminijets. That's a rather new release, or not release, new pickup. Got it a couple months ago, so not really that new. But and then we have A321 by geminijets. Moving into the regionals. Which one is this? I can't even tell. Sorry, I can't even tell which one this is. Oh, 233. Okay, so American Embraer 175 by geminijets, November 233, November. Then we have 416YX, which is the Republic E175 by geminijets. We have the Retro Livery E170 by Gemini. And we have three Embraer 145s. I believe these two are their duplicates. November 603 KC from Piedmont Airlines by Gemini. And this one is the Envoy one, November 928 Alpha Echo by Gemini. And then we have this Air Wisconsin. Air Wisconsin is technically operating for American Eagle now, so that's why this is under the American umbrella. So this Air Wisconsin CRJ200 in the retro livery, the house livery I should say, is by geminijets. Alright, so that's American. Let's we'll go into United now. So United's right here. 777-300ER in the Evo Blue by geminijets. 777-200 non-ER by geminijets in the new colors. 777-200ER in the Star Alliance livery, 77022 by NG models. Flew this aircraft from Chicago to Denver in 2021 in Polaris. That was a pretty fun flight. 796 UA was 777-200ER by geminijets. And I got 767-300 by geminijets, 300ER, sorry. And then we have a 767-300ER in the new livery by geminijets. 757-300 in the new colors, geminijets. And this one I don't think I've shown on the actually I have in an O'Hare update, but 757-300 in the Continental Globe by geminijets 2014 release. United 787-10 from geminijets, and then the 787-10 from NG, exact same registration, just two different manufacturers. 787-9 from NG, and then we got the 787-8 in the older livery from geminijets. And moving back here, we got two 757-200s, the Evo Blue 752 from NG, and then this is also from NG, 757-200 in the Continental Globe livery, post-merger livery. 737-700 Evo Blue from NG, and then also the Continental Globe 700 from NG models. Embraer 175 from geminijets new livery. Embraer 170 from Herpa Wings. Two CRJ 700s from Gemini. CRJ 550 from Gemini, and then the CRJ 200 also from geminijets. And then we got some more Uniteds right here, 737-800 in the old colors and then the new colors, both Gemini. Continental Retro livery 737-900ER from NG, 739 old livery from Gemini, 739 new livery from NG, and then we got a 737 MAX 8, A319 new livery, both Geminijets, A319 Continental Globe old livery from Aeroclassics, and then A320 old livery, A320 Stars and Bars, both Gemini. We have a 747-400 105 UA from geminijets, and then this random Continental 737-800 also from geminijets. And then also snuck in here this ATA 757-200 November 557 TZ is by geminijets, and that's a special model because, let me get a better angle of it. When I was moving to the mainland US back in 2004 from Hawaii, this is the exact plane that I left Hawaii on, 557 TZ. I flew it from Honolulu to San Francisco, and then San Francisco to Midway on a separate 757-200. But this is the plane that I flew leaving Hawaii, and I had my boarding pass from that flight. I found it a while back, earlier this summer. I was a couple months old, like 10 months old, so I had a special boarding pass given to me for that flight, but I was on board in seat 2F, I think, so right at the front of that plane. It was on this exact plane, so very, very special model for sure. Alright, so moving on, let's do Allegiant now. Let's go over here. So now moving into the other US carriers, because this is actually not all US, because we have some Canada in here, but we'll start over here with Allegiant with this A320 in the old livery by geminijets, A320 in the new livery with Sharklets by Gemini, and then also this MD-83 from Gemini as well. There's a World Atlantic MD-83, or is it? Yeah, it's 83 by geminijets. Jump over here to Frontiers 320neo, A321 both from Gemini. Alaska 737-900s, 900ERs, sorry. Standard livery, One World livery, both NG models. Sun Country 738, new livery NG models. And then quickly into Canada. Got WestJet 737-700, Air Canada A220-300, Air Canada E175, and an Air Canada CRJ-900. All of these are Gemini. And then I got a Shorts 360 that was originally Allegheny Commuter, and then I had originally a WestJet Saab 340. Both of these are geminijets. And then I got a Contour, which is, so we're not in Canada anymore. Back to the US, Contour Embraer, well this is also US, but whatever. Contour Embraer 145 from geminijets. And now we're going to move into Delta, so we'll start off with the biggest one I got, 767-300 ER, 757-300, 591, flew this one from St. Louis to Atlanta last year, it's 2022, so that's by geminijets. 757-200 Gemini, another 757-200. Funny story, this one actually, the wings that you see on this 752 were actually originally on this one, so this wing set, the cradle right here, this originally belonged to this model, but I swapped them just to make it a bit more realistic, because there are a couple of 752s without winglets right now for Delta, but all the 753s have winglets, so I just wanted to swap that out, make it a bit more realistic, you know. Alright, moving on, A321 by Gemini, A321 right here by NG Models, 339DN. Another 321, this is 327DN, I flew this one from LAX to Atlanta earlier this year, January 14th, so that one, that's the model of it, it's by geminijets. Delta Thank You livery A321 by NG, 737-900 by NG, 900ER, whatever. I got two A220, oh sorry, this is A220-300 by Gemini. And then I got two of the same A220-100s also by Gemini Jets. Got the A319 here by NG models, and I have 717 or two 717s and an MD-90. These are all by Gemini Jets. This 717 is 896 AT, and then this one is the newer one, 998 AT. Moving along here to my four Hawaiians, some of my favorite models because of course I used to live in Hawaii, so these are special for me. Two 717s, these are all Gemini by the way. So I got two 717s, the old livery, got the new livery, and I got two A330s, the old livery and the new livery, which ironically, I don't know why Gemini did this, but these are the exact same plane, 388HA, 388HA. So I don't know why they released the same one twice, but you couldn't notice anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, Spirit, we got, what is that, 6 planes for Spirit, and hopefully I'll add a couple more, because, I don't know, Spirit's a pretty cool airline. I like Spirit. 321neo here for NG models, and then the 321, standard 321 from Gemini Jets, 321 from NG, 320neo with the solid black titles. Well, I guess this also has the solid black, but I didn't mention that. But this 320neo is by Gemini Jets, and then this 320neo is also by Gemini Jets, but it has the etch marks, the etched logo with the lines in the Spirit titles. And then we have an A319 by Gemini Jets. Breeze Airways, my sole Breeze aircraft is Embraer 195 by Gemini Jets. Would like to get the A220 at some point because I've been on that aircraft. Not the exact aircraft, but I flew the Breeze A220, so I'd probably get that at some point. No promises though. JetBlue, I got 4 of them. JetBlue E190 here by Gemini. A220-300 by Gemini. A320 with sharklets by Gemini, and then we have the A321 by NG models. Quickly, let's do Southwest. Was it like 12 Southwests? We got a Canyon Blue 737-700 by NG. Heart Livery 700 by Gemini. Heart Livery 700 with splits. Heart Livery, sorry, by Panda models. Colorado 1 737-700 by NG. Tennessee 1 737-700 by NG. Moving into the 800s, I got a 738 Heart Livery by NG. Illinois 1, the one and only 738 by NG models. Freedom 1 738 by NG models. Now to the Max 8s, we got the Max 8 standard livery by Gemini, and then the rest are NG models. We got the Canyon Blue Retro, the Herb Kelleher Desert Gold Retro Max 8, and then the beautiful Imua 1 Max 8, or the state of Hawaii, representing the state of Hawaii. So very special model for me as well. It's really, really cool to have this one, Imua 1, representing my first home state, and then my current home state, Illinois, right there. It's really, really cool to have that. Would love to see a New York one at some point. I don't know if they ever have plans to do New York one, but I don't know. New York would be pretty cool to see. Just a random thought. All right. Last bit of aircraft for this side. We got 3 747-400 freighters, all U.S. cargo airlines. I got National right here. I got Qatar Air, which was originally, I bought this in 2012 as a Delta 744, but it's it's been through a lot over the years, but now it's Qatar Air. So that's what that is. And then Atlas Air 747-400. These are all by Gemini Jets. Alright, let's do, I think I got everybody here, yeah. On to UPS. So UPS fleet has gotten a little bit smaller. I think it might be a bit smaller since the last collection update that I did, but it's relatively sizable. So start right here with this UPS MD-11. We got a 767-300ER, 2 of them, duplicates. 767-300, no winglets, old livery. These are all by Gemini Jets. A300 from Aero Classics. I got 2 757-200s by Gemini, one with the Rolls-Royce engines and one with the Pratt Whitneys. And then over here, FedEx 757-200, my one and only FedEx by Gemini Jets. And quickly we'll do Central and South America. Avianca A320 in the Taka Heritage Tail by NG. That's my only South American model. Don't have any LATAM or GOL or anything like that, sadly. But I do have another Avianca on the way with the standard livery with the sharklets. That'll be here by later in January, hopefully. And I have a bunch of other models too, Deltas, Uniteds. I just didn't mention those on the way as well. Copa 737-800 from Panama by NG. Got 2 Aeroméxicos 737-800 in the Max 8. And I flew this Max 8 in real life from Mexico City to Guatemala City back in July. So that was a really cool flight. Moving on, Volaris A320neo by geminijets. And now we are out of North America, Central America, all that good stuff. We're now moving into Europe officially. Right here, Iceland Air, Boeing 737 MAX 8 geminijets. We got the MAX 9 by NG models. 75, and then the rest are, or sorry, not the rest, sorry. I was going to say the rest are NG, but it's a mix of Gemini and NG. 757-200 standard livery by NG. The Vatna Yokel 80 Years of Aviation, 757-200 by NG. Got the Hekla Aurora 752 by geminijets, and then the 100 Years of Aviation 757-300 by geminijets. And there we go, that's Iceland. British Airways got a pretty sizable fleet here. 787-8 by Gemini, 787-10 from NG models, 777-200ER, 777-300ER, 747-400 Oneworld, and A350-1000, all from Gemini. And then I have two A380s. I have, this one is, which one is this? XL LED right here. And then XLEJ? Or XLEL, I think that's what this one is. Yeah, these are both by geminijets. Moving on to Ireland, Aer Lingus right here, A330-300 from Phoenix. Finland, Finnair A350-900 by NG models. Iberia A350-900 by NG models. TAP Portugal A330-900neo by JC Wings. And then this Air Belgium A330-900neo from Phoenix. Air France A350-900 from Aviation 400. KLM got actually 4 of these. 787-10 from NG models. 777-300ER new livery from NG models. 777-300 old livery from geminijets. Actually the oldest model on this table. Oldest 1-400 model on this table. I got this all the way in May of 2011. So a long time ago. This thing is an OG. It's still here. Really, I used to love KLM a lot when I was a little kid, like in 3rd grade. I don't know. I loved KLM's livery. Still do. It's one of my favorites for sure. But that's why I bought it back then. Really cool. And then KLM 747-400, the City of Karachi by Phoenix. Alright, Scandinavian right here, A330-300 and the A350-900, both by NG models. Lufthansa's got a big fleet here, A350-900 by geminijets. A340-600 new livery, geminijets. 340-600 old livery by Phoenix. 340-300 new livery by Phoenix. 340-300 Star Alliance, JC Wings. A330-300 by geminijets, old livery, my first ever Lufthansa model, got that one in 2015. And then finishing off for Lufthansa, 747-8 old livery by Phoenix, and then the 747-8 new livery from geminijets. Swiss A330-300 from Phoenix, and then it's all over the place. It's Africa, and then Europe again, and then Middle East. It's kind of a mess, and then somehow UK is again back there. Ethiopians, I got two 787-9 here from NG, and the 777-200 LR from Gemini. Got the Lot Polish 787-9 from JC Wings, and then the 787-8 in the Polish Olympic team livery from Phoenix. And then moving into, well, still Europe actually. Turkish Airlines Airbus A330-200 Phoenix, the A330-300 from Phoenix, 350-900 from Aviation 400, 787-9 from geminijets, and then the 777-300ER from Apollo. And I totally forgot I had this Virgin 747, so I didn't put it back here with British Airways, but Virgin Atlantic 747-400 from geminijets. Alright. Moving into the Middle East now, well, technically Asia. Well, Turkey is half Europe, half Asia. Mostly Asia, actually. Part of it's in Europe, but most of Turkey is Asia. So we technically are now in Asia. So Iran Air Airbus A300 here by Aeroclassics. Royal Jordanian 787-8 from geminijets. Gulf Air, this absolute meme of a plane. Gulf Air A321 custom model by geminijets. That was originally US Airways A321 when I bought it in 2014. It's been through a lot. A330-200 by Phoenix. This is in the Bahrain Grand Prix livery. I haven't been on this one, but my grandmother and my uncle flew this in 2015. I believe from London to Bahrain and then Bahrain to Peshawar, which is pretty cool. Both flights on that plane. Gulf Air 787-9 from Phoenix. And then I got three Saudias. A330-300 from NG. 777-300ER updated from Phoenix. Updated livery by Phoenix. And the 777-300ER in the old livery by Phoenix. Alright, into the UAE, we got the Air Arabia A320 by geminijets. Fly Dubai 737-800 by NG models. Fly Dubai 737 MAX 8 by geminijets. Oman Air 737-800 by Phoenix. Okay, so we're not in the UAE, my bad. Well, we still are, but Oman is just existing here. So Oman 738 Phoenix. Back to the UAE, we have the Etihad A321 by Phoenix. Flew this one from Islamabad to Abu Dhabi in 2016, almost 8 years ago. That is crazy. But yeah, A6AEA, that's the registration of that one. Let's do Emirates real quick. 777-200 LR by geminijets. 777-300ER A6ECI by geminijets, 2011 release. A6END 777-300ER by geminijets. My grandparents flew this aircraft from Peshawar to Dubai actually in November. They went to Pakistan, so they actually flew this one back from Peshawar to Dubai. Really, really cool that they were able to fly that exact plane. So really cool coincidence there. And then the new livery Emirates 333 A6ENV 777-300ER by geminijets, and then A6EUC, the Airbus A380-800 by geminijets. Into more Etihads here, we have the 787-9 A6BLA by Phoenix, 777-300ER old livery from Dragon Wings, 777-300ER by Aviation 400 in the new livery. This is A6ETH. I flew this aircraft from Abu Dhabi to Chicago in 2016, so it's really cool how this happened actually. So I flew this plane from Islamabad to Abu Dhabi, and then I connected onto this exact plane to Chicago, so that's really cool. Of course, it was in the old livery when I flew it, and then they repainted it back in 2019 or 2021, something like that, but there we go. And then last for Etihad and last for the UAE, or not last for Etihad actually, but A350-1000 by Phoenix. Alright, moving into Qatar Airways, and I say not last for Etihad because I totally forgot about that A340 back there, the meme, the broken Herpa A340, so it's just sitting back there. We'll get to it later. Qatar Airways now, Airbus A330-300 by Phoenix, A350-900 by Phoenix, A7ALD, A7AME, the 350-900 by NG, One World A350-900 by NG, A350-1000, A7ANF by Aviation 400, 7878 NG models, 7879 from Phoenix, 777-200LR from Phoenix, 777-300ER One World from Phoenix, A7BAA, and then A7BAF, the NG models, 333. We got A7BEL, 777-300ER by Aviation 400. Flew this plane from Doha to Karachi in 2022, so we're coming up on 2 years since that flight, crazy enough. So really excited to have that model. A7BED 777-300ER NG models, A7BEM 777-300ER by Phoenix, A7BAC, the beautiful retro livery by JC Wings. I had the Phoenix version, if you remember from last year, but I sold that one and replaced it with this one. And I did fly this exact plane as well, Chicago to Doha in 2013. That was before she was in the retro livery, of course, but there we go. Qatar Cargo 777 Freighter by NG models, A380-800 A7 APA by Aviation 400, and A380-800 A7 APJ by Phoenix, and then this 1/500 scale 777-300ER by Herpa Wings. Was originally in the standard livery, the older Qatar livery with the bigger oryx on the tail, but I customized it into this FC Barcelona livery back in 2015. Alright, let's move on to the other side because I'm having a bit of trouble stretching all the way over there, so let's move over there. Okay, so I also forgot that I still had this model. This is the Herpa Wings 1/400 scale Etihad A340-600 in the Abu Dhabi Formula 1 Grand Prix livery from 2009. It's pretty funny, I have 3 of these Formula 1 liveries. I have this one from Etihad, I have that Gulf Air that you saw right there, and I have the Qatar Airways one too. All Formula 1 liveries, which is pretty cool. So that one's by Herpa Wings. And now moving into proper South Asia with Pakistan. So Serene Air 737-800 over here, custom model by Phoenix. I got 2 AirCL A320 customs by Aeroclassics. This is Blank A320-1 by JC Wings. 2 Air Blue A320 customs. This one's by geminijets. This one's by Dragon Wings with sharklets. And now moving into PIA 777-300ER Eurowhite Phoenix. 777-300ER old livery by Phoenix. ATR 42 by JC Wings, ATR 72 custom model JC Wings. This is technically Middle Eastern Airlines from Lebanon, but I'm operating as PIA, but that's by Phoenix models, Airbus A320 SkyTeam livery. 2 PIA custom A320s in the Euro White livery, 320 geminijets, this one's by Dragonwings. Another Dragonwings model, the 777-200LR from PIA. Technically a custom model, the updated paint job, that's a custom work by me. It was originally in this livery, 2004 livery, but then I repainted it back in 2020. It was like a little project I wanted to do, so there we go. 777-200ER old livery by Phoenix, APBGK. I had 2 of these actually. Sold the other one earlier this summer because there's actually only, I think, this is the only one left in service, APBGK, because all the other ones have been repainted. And then the only, well actually there's another one, technically APBGL, but that one is in storage. I don't even know if that's coming back into service. So the only active 222 in the old livery is BGK. So that's why I sold the other one, because it didn't make sense to have 2 of the same plane when only one of them still exists in this livery. So yeah. And then 777-200ER retro livery by JC Wings. Got some more retros here. Got the APBLT and APBLA, both by Aeroclassics. And then my custom attempt at APBLA, that plane, geminijets model. And then you saw those already. So yeah, moving on back here to Sri Lanka, A320neo for Sri Lankan by Aeroclassics. A330-300, one world livery by NG Models. Now into India, my sole Indian airline or aircraft. Hopefully I'll get more in the future, especially with the new livery. But here's the 777-300ER by Prairie Wings, which is I don't even know what to call them, but it's an exclusive from Prairie Diecast, so that was his little company. It's on the JC Wings mold though, so I guess you could call it JC Wings, but technically it is Prairie Wings model. Philippine A330-300, so now into the Philippines. That's my only model from the Philippines. That's a custom model. Originally it was a Sri Lankan A330-300, and then it became Pakistan Premier, then it became Air Europa, and then I brought it back to Philippine Airlines last year, I believe. So there we go. Malaysia, A330-300 in the Negaraku livery, which is pretty much their standard livery now. That's by NG Models, and then we have a 737-800 by Phoenix. I flew this aircraft from Kuala Lumpur to Langkawi in 2019, 9M MXB. And then I think I flew BGY, this one from Chicago to Karachi via Barcelona and Lahore in 2010. But it was either this one or BGZ. It was a 777-200LR, so it was one of those 2. I couldn't really figure it out, unfortunately. So yes, alright, moving into proper Southeast Asia now, the Asian regions, or countries I should say. ASEAN, that's an acronym, I forgot what it stands for. It's probably like Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. I don't know what it stands for exactly, but whatever. So that was, I think Philippines is part of it. Malaysia is, and I'm pretty sure Thailand might be as well. Maybe I'm mixing things up, but Thailand here, 7878 by NG Models, 777-200ER by Phoenix Models. Alright, now into the Far East, Japan, JAL7879 by Phoenix, NG Models, and then custom model. It was originally JC Wings, 777-300ER. It was based on it was a blank 777-300ER that I customized into the JAL livery, because I mean, if it's blank, if it's all white, I mean, kind of a no-brainer to make it into Japan Airlines, so pretty cool there. And then ANA, the other Japanese airline, the better Japanese airline, I guess. They're both quite good, but I think ANA is actually a lot better. I think they're like the 2nd or 3rd best airline in the world. So, and Japan Airlines is not, but anyway. ANA 7879 by Phoenix with the 50th 787 sticker, and then the 777-300ER by Aviation 400. Alright, we have my sole, pun intended, my sole South Korean, by Seoul I mean SOLE, but you could take that as Seoul, South Korea, but yeah, no pun intended. Seoul Korean Airlines plane here. It's my 777-300ER by geminijets, and now into, well, my only Chinese airline here, Air China A330-200 by by Phoenix. EVA Air 777-300ER from Taiwan by JC Wings, and I got 3 Cathay's. I got the 777-300ER by JC Wings, A350-1000 by Aviation 400, and then the Cathay Dragon A330-300 by Aviation 400. Alright, last section for, last section for this 1400 Ocean right here. The last geographic region, none other than Oceania, so Australia, New Zealand, all that area. So we'll start off right here with Air New Zealand 787-9 by geminijets. Rather new pickup. I got this one about a week or two ago. Look out for it in the next O'Hare updates. Super excited to showcase this one. And I have the Qantas 787-9 by geminijets, and then the Ansett Australia 767-200 by Dragonwings. Alright, if you can't tell, I'm just exhausted right now doing all this, but hopefully you're enjoying it still. These are now all of my bigger scale models, but I have a couple of 1400s sprinkled in that we'll take a look at. So, continuing on with my PIAs, this 1400 scale 777-200 LR by Dragonwings. It's a display model now, solely display purposes. I have my Hogan Wings 1200 scale PIA 777-200 ER in the Nature's Orchard tail, APB-HX. Flew that plane from Karachi to Barcelona to Chicago in 2011. So it's pretty funny, I flew this one on the way to Karachi on that trip, APB-GY, and then I flew that one back, which is pretty cool how that worked out. PIA 777-200, it's supposed to be a LR, but Skymarks messed up when they made this. 1/200 scale by Skymarks, like I just said. So the registration is APB-GY, which is supposed to be a 200 LR, but as you can see by the wings, they should be pointed like this, because this is the exact same plane actually, APB-GY. But Skymarks made it a 200 ER, which is not correct, because the wings, you can see the wingtips are flat, like on that one. But they should be raked, like that one, so yeah. Moving on, JC Wings 1/200 scale PIA 777-300 ER, APB-ID, beautiful. And then my Emirates 777-300 ER, Gemini 200. This is A6 ENJ, I believe. ENJ, yeah. And then my British Airways, this model, I don't know what happened to it, honestly. It was, of course, white when I bought it, like British Airways, how their planes are white. I don't know how it became this color. It's been through a lot, as you can see. The stand and everything. Got this one in 2011 from London. It's a 777-200 ER by Premier Planes, 1/250 scale. Okay, moving over here, WestJet 787-9 by Skymarks, 1/200 scale. Bought this from Calgary Airport when I was leaving from there back in June. Of course, I mean, if I went to Calgary, I didn't buy WestJet. I didn't go to Calgary, so bought this as a pretty good souvenir for Calgary, because WestJet is based in Calgary, so pretty cool to have that one. United 777-200 ER by Skymarks. Delta 757-200 in the 1/150 scale by Skymarks. So, funny story behind this model, Skymarks they never made a Delta 757 without winglets. The original production line was meant to have winglets. The original registration was November 704 X-ray. But when I bought this model, I didn't realize it at first. It came like this. This is how I bought it. So when I assembled it initially, I thought it was supposed to be like this. And then I looked it up, and the model was actually made with winglets. So I think I'm the only person in the world with this model, with the defect on this model that doesn't have winglets. You can even see on the wings, like, there is no evidence of the winglet ever being there. It's so clean, like it's just like it was supposed to be there all along. So pretty funny story behind that. I customized it. As you can see, I added the overwing exits and the doors, and I made it 674 DL, which is the 757-200 I flew from Chicago to Atlanta in 2021. So there we go. Air Force One, the one and only VC-25A, which is the variant of the 747-200. So it actually isn't Air Force One, because I don't know, maybe the president's on board, I don't know. But it's a VC-25A, 747-200, of course, by Skymarks 1/250 scale. And then they actually used to sell these in O'Hare Terminal 5. That's where my dad bought this from. There was a store before security, before T5 got renovated. There used to be a store right before the security checkpoint. They would sell a bunch of stuff there, and then this was like the only proper model they had there. So before I left for Pakistan, I believe, on that trip on PIA, I remember asking my dad to buy this for me. So when we got back, actually that might have been a different trip. That might have been 2009, I don't know, but either way, they used to sell these in O'Hare Terminal 5. That's where we bought this from, which is pretty cool. They don't sell them there anymore, whatever. Over here is a handcrafted Pakistan Air Force JF-17 Thunder. Bought this from the Pakistan Air Force Museum in Karachi back in 2013. It's been through a lot. It used to have a stand, it broke, and then the stabilizers are broken as well, and then it's missing a couple of details like some stuff. So, and the decal is also coming off here. It's a little bit over 10 years old already, so it's been through a lot. And I believe it's like a 1:46 scale model, but you can just see the detail on this. Handcrafted, hand painted. It is crazy cool. 82701 is the particular aircraft, so there we go. Hopefully next time I go back to Karachi, and visit the PAF museum again, I'll get another one of these, or probably a better livery, you know, and with the stand and everything, so you can see how those are. They're really cool how they make them over there. So yeah. Next up, another model that I bought from Pakistan, ironically enough, the TWA Boeing 307 Straighterliner 1:250 scale. Bought this back in 2011. So this is actually one of my oldest models. This one is also I bought around the same time. So yeah, really old model, that one. Next into American Airlines Embraer 145 in the old livery. This is a 1/100 scale. So that one I bought in February of 2023. So I haven't shown this one before on the channel, but I saw it on Waffle Collectibles for like $30, and I was like, you know what? Absolutely, I'm buying this, because this is my childhood right here. Fun fact, they used to have this exact model on display at Champaign Airport. In the check-in hall, there would be a revolving door. Inside the revolving door, there was like a little glass case, and this model was displayed in there, in that revolving door. So I still remember it. They removed it a while ago, ever since the new livery came out and everything. But they had one of these at my hometown airport, so kind of cool to have that same model with me now. It's kind of a full circle moment. And then here's another American Embraer 145. This is a 603 KC, geminijets in the 1/200 scale. American 757-200, 603 AA by geminijets 1/400 scale. Took off the landing gear. I think I used it to fix up another model, but either way, it's a display model now, so it doesn't really matter. And then we have the 1/200 scale American 757-200 by Gemini 200, obviously. And this is a 6:57 AM. There we go. Next up, United 777-200 ER Starlines livery by JC Wings in the 1/200 scale. This is also the same one that I flew from Chicago to Denver, 77022, and I was sitting like right here, seat 9A. Right there. So super cool to have that. I put the gear on it. It used to be, last time I showed you guys this model, it had the stand, but I decided to put the gear on it just because it looks kind of cool, so did that. And then last but not least, the Boeing House livery 787-8 by Hogan Wings in 1/200 scale. This one did have a stand. Unfortunately, the stand broke off. The piece is lodged in there, so the peg, I can't get it out, so it's kind of a good thing that I bought the landing gear separately, because otherwise I would have no use for this model. Got that one actually from the Space Needle in Seattle when I was there in 2013. It's like 53 bucks. Pretty overpriced for that time, but we bought it. So yeah, that is it for the collection. Let me just go ahead and stop recording because my camera's about to die, but let's go ahead and finish off the video. Alright everyone, so we have reached the end of this absolute marathon of a video. Thank you all so much for sticking around until the end if you did. Hopefully this wasn't nearly as long as last year's collection update, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. It's always fun to do these. This took me about an hour and a half to set up. You'll see the time lapse right here. Just getting all the models off the shelves and moved onto the tables. Orienting them, everything took about, a little over 90 minutes, an hour and a half to do. So goes by fast, but I'm not looking forward to putting all these back on the shelves. I'll save that for tomorrow, because as you can tell by my voice, I'm absolutely gassed from doing this, talking all this time. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to my channel. By next year, when we do this in at the end of 2023, at the end of 2024, of course, the collection I'm expecting will have surpassed 315 models by then. Let's play a little game, by the way. If you're still here, if you could name every single one of the countries, I always do this, by the way, if you've seen these videos in the past, if you could name every single one of the countries that is represented in my collection, all 42 countries. Is it 42 or 43? I don't know. But if you could name all of them, I'll be very impressed. I'll maybe even pin the first person's comment who does it. But check it out. Try it out. Why not? Give it a little try. Shouldn't be that hard. Some of the airlines might be a bit tough to do, but hey, I'm sure a bunch of you can do it because a bunch of you have done it in the past. So there we go. That is it for 2023. That is a wrap on this channel for 2023. I just want to say thank you all so much for a fantastic year. We're going to close off 2023 just short of 30,000 subscribers, but I'm sure we'll hit it sometime soon, shortly after 2024 begins. So yeah, but anyway, thank you all so much for a fantastic year. I had a lot of fun making all the videos that I did this year, and yeah, especially this winter break, some of the videos that I made, I had a lot of fun doing, especially this one. So yeah, but that's it for this one. Let's finish off with some American chromes because these are some of my favorites in the collection. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for watching. Thank you again for a great 2023. Stay safe, take care, and I will see you in 2024. All right, goodbye.